the best team for Jane? Is she good with Disorder? Well, to answer that question, I've tested every possible combination of teams. Today, we'll be going over all the teams I consider viable and go over the pros and cons. Just as before, all the footage here are from the creator beta server, and everything is still subject to change. Personally, I find Seth to be the best support for Jane regardless of other agents you have at the moment. He can boost Jane's Anomaly proficiency by up to 100 with his shield, which is crucial for maximizing Jane's passive skills. She needs 375 Anomaly proficiency to guarantee assaults to crit every single time, and 420 Anomaly proficiency to maximize the attack buff during Passion State. Unless you're extremely lucky with Anomaly proficiency substats, you're going to need some outside help to maximize it. And right now, only Seth can really do that. He also applied tons of Anomaly and Daze himself with his EX special and charged attack, which helps with stunning enemies and also cause some disorders once in a while. With him on Jane's banner, it's pretty much guaranteed for you to get him if you're going for Jane. As for the last slot, at least at the moment, I've tested both stun and support. Just like every other source of damage, Disorder will benefit from stun damage multiplier. Putting enemy into stun also means more decibel to ult and help refuel Jane's passion meter with her chain attack. With that being said, stunners such as Envy and Coletta feels a lot better to play her, as they can just quickly do an EX special or a combo whenever they have enough energy, and you can switch back to Jane right after. Qingyi also able to somewhat perform in this team because Jane can utilize the burst window pretty well and actually take advantage of the bonus stun damage multiplier. With that being said, I find Support Agent to be the best in slot for the final spot. We have quite a few choices when it comes to support right now. First, we have Saku. For the pro, her buff lasts a very long time, and the 1000 flat attack buff she can provide is extremely valuable. The downside is, she's harder to use against more aggressive enemies, and if you want benefit from the effect of 4 sets Swan Jazz, you will need to activate her very long chain attack. The effect of her signature is somewhat nice, but the effect doesn't have that much of coverage. While she's definitely best in slot for the Ice team, her performance is only okay when used with Jane. I've also tried Reena again, this time without Grace. Even with M1, Reena's performance does not outshine other support. This is because Jane doesn't have much damage bonus in her build. This is true even with her signature W engine and Fence Metal as her set. So damage bonus from Partition 5 plus the buff from other supports is able to match the power of penetration stacking with Reena. Lucy felt pretty nice to use here. With energy regen, she can pretty much keep her buff up permanently, and the power of her buff can almost match that of Saku's thanks to her signature weapon's passive being significantly easier to trigger. Though I have to say that she absolutely needs to be at least Manskip 2 to be viable. Lastly, we have Nicole. From my test, Nicole is hands down the best support you can have for Jane. There are some things you need to know if you choose to Nicole as the support. Anomaly treats buff and debuff differently. While buffs are counted when you are accumulating Anomaly, debuffs only take effect when the Anomaly is triggered. This benefits Nicole's playstyle greatly, since while her debuff is extremely short, it's one of the strongest debuff in the game, topping at around 28% damage increase overall, and she can apply it whenever with her basic attack. Her chain attack is also very short, allowing her to provide Swing Jazz's buff without wasting stun timer. Though I do kinda wonder, how does Nicole feel about being the best in slot support for both of the PopSec teams right now? Now, you can also activate her additional ability with Anomaly Teammate. So how does she perform there? Let's start with the Disorder team using Reena and Grace. Disorder is a cool mechanic. It helps quickly front load the damage of different anomalies. But just like how you cannot trigger the same anomaly twice within 3 seconds, Disorder has the same limitation. As a result of that, I find triggering more assault is generally more effective than inserting Grace for shock in between. This team ends up performing very similar with other teams, but it is significantly more expensive to build, requiring Reena M1 for more stable performance and have both Jane and Grace fully invested. I do not suggest most people going for this team unless you were already invested in Grace and Reena. I've also tried with Piper. The idea is that Piper can both provide damage bonus with her additional ability and also use the 4-piece Freedom Blue and reduce enemies' assault build-up resistance, but at the end, Piper took too long on field. The salt proc from her is significantly weaker than Jane's, and neither her damage bonus nor the Freedom Blues 4-piece bonus last long enough to make significant difference for Jane. There is probably a reason for Anomaly Agent being one of Jane's additional ability activation method, but I don't think this is made for the current Anomaly characters, but rather someone else in the future. And that's all the team setup have tested with Jane. Now, if you'd like to learn more about Jane and Seth, I will be releasing more videos about them along with a complete guide for each throughout the next week. As always, this has been SteamBound X. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.